Hey guys, I know I didn't promise anything about My Hero Academia, but I basically decided that every time One Piece goes on break for a week, I just go and take a look at what's going on in My Hero Academia, basically go through the chapters I haven't looked at in a video, and then do my standard reaction to whatever the current chapter is. So that's how we're going to be doing these from now on. Probably just be doing it if I think something big is going down in the story or if One Piece is on break. So these will not be happening every week like they used to, because for one thing, they don't get as many views as the One Piece videos, and I don't feel like I can talk about it as well as I can with One Piece. So I figure having more content, there'll be more to talk about. So here we go. We'll be this is going to be a little bit different from the other videos I made. I'll basically be doing quick skip overs. I'll be skimming through the chapters that I haven't done reactions for, basically just talking about them. I won't be reading out the dialogue or anything unless it's really necessary, but I'll just be talking about what happens in each chapter, and then really quickly, not going to spend too much time on it, and then once I've given my view on it, we'll move on to the next chapter. We've got like 3 chapters to cover before we get to the new chapter, so let's get to it. Okay, so chapter 316. This is the chapter I said, okay, I'm not going to do a reaction for every single chapter anymore. But here we go. So yeah, Deku, once again, just doing a quick look over the events here. Okay, so Deku's falls from the sky. Endeavor shows up, basically saying that All Might told him what was up. Then, of course, you got Hawks, who shows up and catches Lady Nagant, who's really messed up, and they've not confirmed her death at this point. And, I should mention that everyone should be caught up. If that's not obvious, everyone should be caught up, because I'm covering every single chapter here, go into full detail, so catch up with where my hero is right now. But anyway, so they have not confirmed what Lady Nagant's... It's her death. They have not confirmed Lady Nagant's death. Apparently she is close to death. It's a miracle she's alive at all, and she's in a hospital. But they're going to get to that later. Anyway... So yeah, Hawks can barely fly. He's falling. I'm not up for flying yet. So thanks to Deku's Black Whip, he saves Hawks. And Hawks gives Lady Nagant a talk, basically saying, "You're still a hero. I believe in you. You can do the right thing. Please give us any information." And she's like, "Okay. But yeah, I will be going into a little gameplay later, but for now I'm just going to have the music playing in the background. Kind of like what I do with One Piece. Because you can't make custom characters in One Piece. As hilarious as that would be. Deku lets Hawks down, and he talks to her, and she's moving ahead in the chapter. And basically this is the point where Lady Nagant's trying to figure out why, after going through all the bullshit of this hero society, how Hawks has been able to deal with it, and he just says, "Hey, I'm optimistic to a fault," which I think is pretty fun. Okay, so then we've got Chisaki here, who's basically, still going off about the whole boss thing, and he wants to be brought to him. And I thought we were going to go further into this because, we already know that Deku is meeting up with old enemies and trying to view them in a different light. So I thought we were going to go a bit deeper into this, but we don't at all. This plot line just gets completely dropped. Now I figure we might go back to it later with maybe a scene with Eri or something, but yeah, it just gets completely dropped. Deku's like, "Yeah, I'll take you to see your boss," but and this is the one thing I want to go over, what Deku says specifically here on the next page to Chisaki. "If you're willing to direct that same energy towards Eri, I'll honor." So what I think Deku is saying here is, like, if you're willing to apologize to Eri, which I don't think is even necessary, like, not that it's not necessary to apologize, but I don't think that's doing Eri any favors. I mean, she has a really traumatizing past with this guy, and it just brings like he wants to say sorry. Deku, I think you're doing more harm than good here. I think you should just go past this, man. It's just not worth dealing with this asshole. But yeah, and that's the last we see of Chisaki. Okay. are in custody. Get the word to the cops. We need medical aid. Okay, yeah. So, moving on. Now, this is where the story gets a little weird because Lady Nagant tells them, okay, I was supposed to capture Deku and bring him to this house. And they're like, okay. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's going to be a while. We're going to take a while to build up to get to where they're going to that house. Maybe we'll go and check on some guy. No. They immediately go to the house, which, like, got whiplash from that sudden move. It's like, boom, we're in the house. Like, okay. I guess we're at the house now. And then Deku's leading the heroes in. I'm like, Deku, man, he's just taking charge. I'm like, Endeavor, you need to step up and stop Deku from taking charge always. I mean, I know he's powerful, but he's still just a kid. Endeavor, you're the one who needs to take charge. You're the supposed quote-unquote #1 hero. Come on, bro. But anyway, so yeah, there's a bunch of heroes here. You got Mount Lady, you got something Wood. I always forget the first part of his name. You got Bastinus, a lot of the main heroes in Japan. But yeah, all for one. So Deku's just like pointed like a laser beam. He's like focused. I'm like, okay, I can go in there. I'm gonna kick some ass. So yeah, he goes in there. Takes a look around, and then he sees basically a pre-recorded message left for him by All for One, who's basically the gist of it is, okay, I'm done with All Might. I've been, All Might this, all this time. Yeah, I know. It's not his time anymore. Forget him. In fact, ever since I was in prison, the person I've been thinking of, the person I've wanted to basically destroy, has been you. Now, it's your turn. Basically, once again, twisting All Might's words from after the battle, after All Might defeated All for One. And then, massive explosion. And that was quite a plot twist. And, Switch, please wake up. Now, let's just change the music for funsies. Yeah, okay. So, big explosion, and that's how that chapter ends. My main takeaway from this chapter was just that All for One's basically like, it's your turn, Deku, I'm coming for you, I'm taking you seriously. Which I always thought was a big mistake for All for One. He's like, this boy is pathetic, he's nothing. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna get your butt handed to you someday by Deku, if you don't watch it. But no, he is taking Deku seriously, he does know he's a threat to him. So I like that. I like that Deku's getting some respect from basically the main villain of the series. What happened to Shigaraki, man? What happened to Shigaraki? It's like he's basically just getting used at this point. I'm disappointed. After My Villain Academia, I was expecting more from Shigaraki. Disappointment, man. Anyway, going 9 minutes in, we're going to the next chapter. This might be a longer video. Okay, chapter 317, Scars, Blood, and Filth. What a name. Horikoshi. Okay, Horikoshi. I'm sorry I don't know his name as well as Oda. Okay, I can say Oda all the time when I'm doing my One Piece stuff. I'm like, Horikoshi. Got it, Horikoshi. Got it. Okay. So yeah. Horikoshi knows how to pick some names. That's some great names. Great word choice there for this chapter, considering what it involves. Okay. Moving in. So, and I know a lot of people other than me found this bizarre because the chapter starts what would you expect to happen in this chapter in the very beginning? Oh, well, maybe the heroes got seriously injured and we're going to see the fallout from it and they're going to be rushed to the hospital. Or maybe Deku pulls some shenanigans and he uses Black Whip and all of his quirks together, or maybe Endeavor helps, and maybe all the heroes can combine their efforts to get out there fast enough. We don't see jack shit. This is the one time, Horikoshi, you're gonna regret that I know your name now. Because Horikoshi, you made a big mistake here. I feel like this is... I don't think the pacing has been thrown out that much since the 2-month time jump, but this is definitely a case where it feels like the pacing is way off. Like, really? You're cutting from an explosion and having the hero say, Wow, we just barely escaped that. Talk about lazy writing. That's like one of the most lame things I've seen in My Hero Academia as of late. I think for the most part it's doing a good job, but that was bullshit. Okay, but moving on. Okay, so the heroes are basically just discussing what their next step should be. Should they tell more heroes about Deku and One for All, or should they're basically talking about the situation, what the cops are doing. And then we move on to the next page. Oh yeah! Basically the retirement of... Okay, I'm sure I'm going to mess up his name, but Desu Teguro. One of the first heroes we saw in like the first My Hero Academia chapter / episode of the anime. He's basically quitting. He's basically like, this is too much. I can't handle this. It's already hard enough with all these escapees running around causing havoc, causing mayhem. It's already too much. That is putting my stress level. It's on a whole new level. That's too much for me. And on top of that, basically all society is turned against us heroes, and they're basically like booing and throwing stuff at us. I can't handle this anymore. I can't take this job anymore. This is bullshit. I'm getting out of here. And that, I feel, is pretty impactful because, like I said, he was one of the first heroes we saw during the time where, like, you know, Deku was all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and we're like, oh, heroes are awesome. It's such an awesome society. I love it. And yeah, that character shows up. It's like, yeah, this character, we love him. Woo, heroes! And he's like, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm done. It's like, oh gosh, what happened to the series? It's kind of awesome. But yeah. So looks like there were some spies in the Paranormal Liberation Front that had to be weeded out, and he helped with that. So that's pretty interesting. I don't even know if I noticed that before. The media is closing in on Deku, yeah. So the heroes are really in a tight spot, and they have no idea what the heck to do now. And I wouldn't know what to do. Also, I didn't notice up until this point because it's very faint, but Mount Lady now has a badass scar over her eye from her battle against Gigantomachia. So yeah, that's a nice little feature. I love how the heroes take battle damage in this series. Like how, you know, Endeavor's face is really messed up from his fight against the High End. So yeah, great attention to detail on Horikoshi's part. So yeah, they're still discussing it, blah 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 blah, not enough cups, not enough heroes. What are you gonna do, guys? Okay. So, now at first it's like, oh okay, it's a very quiet scene, very calm scene. We're talking about what we're gonna do, and for a moment it's like, oh no, another hired gun is after Deku, and you think, oh boy, is he gonna fight someone as impressive as Lady Nagan? And the next page is like, no, he's already won. And I'm like, well, they can't all be Lady Nagan, am I right, people? And it's already over. It's Deku has already won. And just this shot, the panel on the right, the page number 9 and page number 8 of this chapter, Deku is just getting worse and worse. He's starting to look like a monster. I mean, when this all started, he definitely looked kind of rough around the edges, but it looked cool. It looked like, you know, there's a lot of heroes that are very, you know, dark and very serious looking. So it wasn't a problem for Deku, but no, man. As it goes on, his outfit, his costume is getting more rugged, more worn out. It's falling apart. The shading, my gosh, the shading that's being used in these shots is just phenomenal. The lines are so close together. It's just, oh, I love it. It just gives you the sense of that his costume is getting so dirty and grungy. Oh gosh, this is really good. I especially love the panel on page 8. Or is it page 9? Sorry, I'm getting flipped around here, you know, reading from right to left and all. Anyway, he won. And this is at the point where All Might's starting to get... And I'm sure All Might's been worried about him all this time, but he's starting to get really worried about him. Like, he's not eating, he's not sleeping, he's just going. And at the end of the day, Deku's just a human being, let alone a kid. He's just a kid who was in high school up until a few months ago. So yeah, he shouldn't be in this state. It's crazy. And yeah, it gets worse and worse and worse, because it's like, I love the shot on page 10, I guess it is, of basically All Might running behind Deku, being like, wait, you haven't eaten anything for like ever. You need to eat. You need to take care of yourself. Take this. And then just the juxtaposition of like All Might in the distance, very small, very kind of insignificant in a way, carrying this lunch, and Deku just brooding, getting torn up. His cloth is all torn up, and he's just brooding, marching head first into the distance. And it's just, and I can't lie, like what comes up next kind of hurts. We're basically Deku's like, I'm capable of more than you could do, All Might. Thanks to my quirks, I can do stuff basically at 100% now. You don't have to follow me. I'm gonna be fine. You don't need to worry about me. Go away. And you get a nice flashback to a lot of things. Actually, you see All Might's teacher crying, Shigaraki screaming. You see all of this, and then one important thing that just ends this page perfectly is when you see a flashback to basically before the sports festival or whatever, where All Might basically told Deku, I need you to tell the world I am here. And it's kind of backfired on All Might at this point. He's put so much pressure on Deku, and I think he's starting to realize, oh boy, I fucked up. So yeah, I'm sorry I spent so much time on these 2 pages, but they're really important for this chapter. Okay, moving on. And this is what hurts so much. The imagery here is just phenomenal. When Deku's like, you don't have to worry about me. I swore I'd raise you up and protect you. Wait! But I know how it is. You're the only one who can bear the burden, and I know how crushing it is. Do your best. You deserve to rest. I need to tell you that, kid. So these are words that All Might didn't even get a chance to tell Deku before he ran off. He's like... And Deku, if you think back to when All Might fought All For One, when you think back to All Might's fight versus All For One, Gran Torino basically said, Deku, that kid, he's becoming more and more like you every day, All Might. That's not a compliment. And he really is. Deku's just taking the whole weight of the world on his shoulder and just trying to smash his way through everything, and he just can't do it. I mean, he's going to run out of energy. He's going to fall asleep. It's just... Oh, sorry, my screen fell asleep again. Yeah, it's just getting really desperate. And then on the next page we have Endeavor, who at this point has probably been informed by All Might that Deku's gone rogue, or at least he's not eating and sleeping, he's not taking help from All Might. So Endeavor probably knows this at this point. He's basically saying, Deku, change of plans? Oh, we're changing this. You're not going to be running around trying to lure out All For One's cronies anymore to try to figure out his location. We're getting help from overseas. We got heroes coming from most likely America and probably several other countries. I'm not sure if he says exactly which countries. You're the key to all this, so we can't have you running yourself into the ground. Okay, so yeah, All Might basically told him, Deku's basically killing himself. He needs to we put too much weight on his shoulders. He needs a break. Please, help him to stop. And Endeavor's like, okay, let me call him up. Deku, buddy, yeah, you're kind of getting messed up, buddy. You need to stop now. And okay, so here's a part where I'm like, okay, this is bullshit. And it's not. I'm not saying the story's bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying something the characters are doing. I'm like, okay, you're wrong. Okay, so once again we get Deku moving on, looking less and less human, especially in the top panel of page 2 of this chapter. Like, look at that. He's just a bunch of shapes and torn thread moving. It's kind of horrifying. Okay, so here at this point, the Vestiges are trying to talk to Deku, and they're like, "Listen, Ninth, your wounds are far from healed, and it's not yet time to throw caution to the wind." Guys, I think you should have said that like a while ago. I think Deku's been throwing caution to the wind for a while now, and you've not been properly, giving him advice. At first, you weren't properly giving him advice, but now you're like, "Okay, buddy, you might want to chill." And I'm like, "Guys, you should have said that like days ago. What's wrong with you?" Okay, especially you, Nana. What the heck is your deal? I expected more from you. Okay, so the feelings burden him. He sees every cause as a worthy one. Yeah. Very much like All Might, honestly. I like how how you have All Might there, even though he's, he's not there because he hasn't died yet, so he's only partly there. I wish he'd say something, but he obviously can't until All Might dies. Oh my gosh, All Might's gonna die. And I'm like, and we knew that was likely, but now I'm thinking he most definitely will die, because think about it. All this time we've been seeing All Might's kind of smoky form in here, which means that I feel like at some point we have to see All Might actually in here. And when that happens, All Might is going to die. So, yeah, that's pretty sad. I am now like 99.99% sure that All Might will die in this series. So, yeah, next page. He's choosing the right path. You think so, leader? In action, not in it. Okay, yeah, I do want to read this part. This isn't kind of important. He's choosing the right path, which I don't think. This is the part where I'm like, no, you're wrong. Deku needs sleep. He needs to rest, or he's not going to be good for anything. But anyway, go on. You think so, leader? Inaction is not an option, especially given the circumstances. That's how it is for those of us who bear One for All. That said, if there's anything that could bolster Izuku Midoriya now, it would be... Okay, so here's where the story, I think, is finally taking a turn at the end of this chapter. So let's get into it. So we see Deku's fighting a whole bunch of random villains, it looks like. And then we go to the next page. Okay, so yeah, he just took down some random, probably pretty weak punk villains. And I really like this part of the story because you see the average reaction of a random civilian. Just a random citizen reaction to Deku. Now, if we think back to the beginning of when Deku started going alone out here, it was very different. He already had that serious look. His clothes, his costume was a bit shredded, but, and I'm sorry, I don't know the name of Mr. Earthquake and his girlfriend, but basically, after Deku saved this student, the girlfriend's like, "Oh, thank you, you saved him." Or did she ever get to thank Deku? I know she was grateful, but yeah. But just looking at him, it's like they probably thought, okay, he's just some hero. But now Deku's so grungy, so nasty, because he hasn't bathed, he hasn't taken a break, he hasn't eaten. He's just so messed up that civilians are like terrified of him. And they should be. I mean, he's running around, he looks like a damn monster at this point. He's using multiple quirks, which is already a dead giveaway that he seems like he's, since no one knows outside of the hero circle, no one knows about One for All, they're just assuming that, oh, this guy, he got his powers from One for All. I mean, he got his powers from All for One. He's bad. It's like, I'm not bad. Okay, sure. We're just gonna go over here now. We're really just fine and dandy. I like that they use the word dandy, at least in the official translation. That's hilarious. We're all fine and dandy here. Dandy is candy, you freak. Here we get to see what's going through Deku's mind. And I can't say I blame Deku at all for what he's doing. I do blame the heroes and a lot of the people who should be taking charge of Deku, because he's not an adult. He isn't. They should be taking charge of him and coaching him. But no, there's like, just let him go out and do his whatever. I'm gonna say this right now. They should have had one hero, and I'm more than All Might. They needed one hero with a quirk looking after Deku. Although, I guess you could argue that no one could keep up with Deku because of all his quirks and he can move pretty fast. I don't know. But either way, I don't think the adults handled this situation properly. But yeah, you see what Deku is thinking. He's really thinking, oh man, where's the villains? I gotta find him. Time is running out. And this is why I say I don't blame Deku at all, because once Shigaraki is complete, that means he can not only cause insane devastation easily, but it means he might be able to steal One for All. So I don't blame Deku at all for doing this. I just think everyone else in charge of Deku kind of made some mistakes. Except for All Might. You're good, All Might. You did the best you could without your quirk, man. Okay. I can't let them hurt anyone else. Once again, a nice zoom into... Oh, okay, so we already knew. If you know this series at all, you already knew that part with All for One saying, now it's your turn, was of course kind of a twisted version of what All Might did earlier, pointing out Deku's like, now it's your turn. And now it's basically just outright stated in these two panels, because it just takes those parts of the manga. Like, here they are. You get it? You get it, audience? You get it? You get it? This is what it represents. I'm like, okay, you don't have to beat me over the head. But I really like that we see Deku's thoughts here, because on the outside, he looks like a monster. He's just all disgusting and torn to shreds and messed up looking. But on the inside, he's imagining his mom smiling. He's imagining Gran Torino. He's imagining Eraserhead. I'm gonna admit it, I don't know what some of their names, regular names are. I just memorize their hero names sometimes. But he's thinking of Eri. He's thinking of everyone important to him and how he just wants them to smile. That's Deku. That is the heart and soul of Deku as a character. And I really like that even in his darkest moments, you could still see that coming through in his thoughts. So I thought that was really great. But holy shit, does the next panel make him look like he just looks so inhuman. We've seen Deku like really messed up earlier in this chapter, in the chapter before this chapter. But this panel right here in page 10, he is just a straight up monster here. He looks worse than he ever has. And we see specifically on this page, Deku thinking of all of his classmates. No one else. Not like the heroes, not his mom, we already saw that on the previous page, but no one else special to him other than his classmates. And that is going to be very important for the end of the chapter. As you all know, if you've already, read this far, and you should have. Wants to smile together again. I think this is a really powerful panel. This chapter is great. It really is. It's one of the greatest chapters in recent memory. A reckless rampage born of anxiety and impatience. You take the world on alone to the point of exhaustion and ruin. Powers and numbers, I say. Taking you in will bring me security. So we got a new weird villain here, and he's probably the worst villain that Deku could come across right now. Another Tartarus escapee. Okay. Let's hope you're the one who tells me where All for One is. Like I said earlier, Deku, like a laser beam, getting straight to it. All for One. All for One. Shigaraki, you will tell me where they are. That's all he cares about. And at this point, you've got a whole bunch of citizens. It looks like they have assist items, and they're basically running at him because this guy's quirk basically controls people, and he can control as many as he wants, which leads you to question why he can't control Deku. His quirk, Despot. His control over others can only be broken with a strong blow. Dictator, the one who caught him 5 years ago, was crushed. It was during the bloodless surrender case. His quirk, Despot, his control over... So why... There's got to be some limitation. Like, maybe he has to touch someone, or maybe he can only control people who don't have quirks. I don't think they get into it. Of course, he's taken precautions by having human spell. Okay, yeah. They don't really get into how his whole quirk works, other than he controls people. I assume maybe he has to make physical contact to create a mind control link, maybe? Because otherwise, he could just control Deku easily. So yeah, that's my theory here. So this right here is basically Deku at his breaking point. I mean, look at this. We've seen his costume going to shreds throughout this whole time, but his mask, the hardest, the most durable part of his costume that should be able to take anything, is cracking and crumbling and falling apart, and that just right there is the perfect endpoint for Deku. His breaking point right there is even his mask, his metal mask, is falling apart. This is insane. So yeah, you get let's change the track up a bit, because we're getting to the end of the chapter now. Okay, so yeah, there's a whole bunch of people on Deku, and they're like, please, don't hurt us. He's controlling us. We don't want to hurt you. And it's like, it's okay. I know. I'll free you, and you'll be fine. It's strategy. I just need a strategy. Even now, Deku's like, I can do it. I can do it all. I can beat him. I can win. I can save everyone. I can do everything. I can take everything on my own. I don't need help. And I think it's implied here that he can't. He can probably barely move at this point. He's so weary. He's not going to be able to think of a proper strategy. This looks like the end for Deku. Of course, it's not. He's the main character, but it could be the end for Deku. Like, he could fall asleep right now. And the following page is why I'm doing this. Because, I'm going to be honest, it was so depressing to read all this. And, like, it as much as I enjoyed it, it did feel a little samey at some point. So it was kind of hard to talk about. But yeah, the next page is the reason why I'm doing this and why I am super excited to read the next chapter live with you guys. Well, not live, but you know what I mean. The next page, we see what looks like a familiar character basically in the sky above all these people. And then you see him do some move, and I mean, obviously it's Bakugo. You can kind of see the grenade gauntlets, but armor piercing shot, which I believe, which is definitely a new move. So he's been busy. I'm sure all of Class 1A has been busy. He basically takes out the villain no problem, and we get a shot of the vestige that basically was saying earlier that there's one person that can bring Deku to his senses, and here he is. If there's anything that could bolster Izuku Midoriya now, it would be. And then we get a clear shot of Bakugo. He's here, guys. But the weird thing... Oh, he's holding a camera. I didn't notice that at first. He's holding a camera. I also didn't notice, if you take a look, you can see that Bakugo's costume, his bits of armor that he's wearing, is also cracking and very worn down. More so than it's ever been in the entire series. So, I didn't notice this the first time I read this chapter, but it seems pretty clear that Deku's not the only one that's been fighting hard, that's been going after villains and just trying to make a difference in this horrific time. Bakugo's also possibly even been out on his own doing his best, and And I'd expect nothing less from Bakugo. The second he probably knew that Midoriya was going around doing this stuff, he's like, fuck this, I'm going out. But Bakugo, you gotta stay here for training. Is like, fuck this, I'm going out and I am beating some villains. But another thing we can take away from this one shot is that he looks very, very, so unlike Bakugo, calm. He looks so calm. You can barely see any emotion at all here. There's no, like, rage, his usual rage, which that's something I would expect. I would expect him to be like, Deku, you old bastard! You went out on your own and fuck you! It's like, no, it's not that, but it's not joy. It's not like, yay, I found him, I'm happy. Which I wouldn't expect that either. Because, let's be honest, every time Bakugo smiles, a puppy dies. It's true. Or rather, a puppy doesn't die, a puppy explodes. So yeah, that was chapter 318. That gets us caught up, and we're 40 minutes into this video. Oh my gosh. Wow, this has been quite a journey, hasn't it? Hopefully I don't take quite as long to get back to this series, but I am going to try to... Basically, if One Piece, whenever One Piece goes on break, I'll definitely pick this back up again, do a video, because it'll be less work for me than trying to do 2 series at the same time. But anyway, that's not the end of the video, because of course now we have the next chapter, which is 319, which is completely new to me. I've never seen it before, and and that calls for, what that calls for, ladies and gentlemen. Come on! After the loading screen, fuck the loading screen. Okay guys, I have an important announcement. And I am so glad I saved this. We've never customized Bakugo. And what better time than right now? Do I have the money for this? Oh my god, I do? Open face Bakugo, yes please! Hell yeah! Alright, now he doesn't have that dumb mask on! Just like the chapter! How awesome is that? Okay, so, that's a great start. But yeah, we'll get more into this. Of course he's not going to look completely like he does, because we're going to put a bunch of goofy stuff on him. Because we got to, We just got to. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't equip that. That's a shame. I want to give him the cat headgear. Because that would be awesome. Okay, alright, that's enough customization. Let's get into the chapter 319, which I am calling. And, but just real quick, I do have the Shonen Jump app on my phone, and it sends me notifications, and I was kind of annoyed when I got a notification that said, Midoriya's classmates are fighting back! Well, thanks for that, Shonen Jump. Now you spoiled the fact there's going to be more than one classmate in this chapter. I mean, I think we can kind of assume that there would be, because I'm assuming that Bakugo was taking a picture of Deku and he's like, yeah, he's here, and like everyone from Class 1A are going to show up. That's my expectation. That's what I want. I want every person from Class 1A show up. And I kind of want Ochaku to slap Midoriya. Okay, I wanted that at one point, but I don't think she's going to be able to do that, because Midoriya's in a rough shape. It would kind of be like kicking him while he's down. But I really wanted to see her slap Midoriya and be like, why did you leave? Because I feel like some emotions have been building up over these past 2 months, and I can't wait to see what happens. So yeah, sorry. I've been gabbing for 44 minutes. Chapter now. Okay, looks like we're going right into no chapter page. Looks like we're going into a full color page. I'm just glancing at it from the periphery. Okay, looking at it now, diving into this chapter. I've been waiting so long for this chapter. Yes! Okay, this is great. So, we are finally going to see Bakugo's reaction. This is going back a couple months. We're going to see Bakugo's reaction to Deku leaving UA. This is something I think we've all been craving for, and we're going to see more reactions from the students. So yeah, I can't wait. Let's get into it. Color Image, Ochaku, Ida, they're all looking great. Here we go. A few days after Izuku Midoriya left UA. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Do you really think so? It's just our best guess, but odds are he's with Endeavor and the... Oh, they figured out. Odds are he's with Endeavor and the others. That damn nerd! Oh, now that's the Bakugo we all know and like, I guess? Okay, color's over. Back to standard black and white. Here we go. Your best guess. You haven't confirmed that with anyone. Such as the mentors who oversaw you three. We have tried unceasingly. Oh. Okay, moving on to the next page. But my own master will not answer his phone. Same with Denim Head. Loving this chapter. So glad I'm doing a live reaction to this. Denim Head. I love that that's Bakugo's nickname for Best Genus. That's great. My father, too. I'm sure they're busy, but something feels off. We can only assume they're keeping secrets from us. Not to mention, All Might is still MIA. Or so it seems, yeah. Classes are suspended and we're being kept at first years for now. Wait, they're still first years? Did they never start the second year? I thought they got to their second year. Huh, that's weird. They've got those of us in the hero course either cooped up in the dorms or helping out with local security. Given the state of things, it's tough to find out about what's going on out there. Denim Head and the Spoonbill. Spoonbill? Spoonbill? Oh, is he talking about Hawks? Man, Bakugo has weird nicknames for all the heroes. Has he been doing this since he was a kid? At the hospital, All Might was there too. And then we got the letter. If he's too scared to come near UA, then who snuck in and slipped the letters under our doors in the dead of night? It had to be All Might. I've got no doubt they're partners in crime. Partners in crime, partners in time. Hey, we got a confirmation Luigi Mario could... Okay, I don't know where I'm going with this joke. Then he is with an adult? That should give us reassurance. Reassurance. No, it really doesn't. Let's give Bakugo something. Ooh, damn! When did I unlock this? I got a silver mask. Yeah! He's looking great! But, Mark, you took off his mask. Why would you do that if you were just going to give him another mask? Shut up! He looks great! Okay, moving to the chapter again. He's too scared to come near you. All Mights are, partners in crime, like I was saying earlier. Blah, blah, blah. The only news we're hearing is about the whole top three team up, right? Not a word about All Might. Yeah. Compared to Endeavor and the others, I know Deku and All Might better than anyone. This is the worst case, the worst scenario I can think of. Damn it! How are we gonna get in touch with them? Endeavor is UA alum, right? Then let's force the issue. Oh, damn! Ochaku is taking charge! You go, girl! A few days later, Principal, this was a trap. It's a trap, yo! I'm telling you, people, things are about to get intense. These are all Deku's friends. They care about him, and they haven't seen him for a while. They're like, no. You're not pulling this bullshit on us, Principal and Endeavor. You're gonna tell us the truth. You can't handle the truth? Here we go. It's about to get really tense between these characters, I can tell. I heard the children out and determined that the meeting was warranted. I'm always open to change based on the facts. Why have you been ignoring us? I thought we were going to stop Toya together. Shoto, your willingness alone means the world to me. Well, it doesn't mean much to me without action. Why is Midoriya the only one with a free pass? Endeavor, you're letting Deku and All Might operate together, aren't you? Thought so. Oh yeah, look at that. They can read him like a book on fire. In any other situation, it was the right move. But you don't know the first thing about Deku. He's screwed up in the head. That guy never takes himself into account. Just says crap like, I'm fine. Oh man, this is really sweet. I think this is the sweetest we've ever seen Bakugo be around about Deku. Shut up, nerd! Yes, sir. Anyway, he's screwed up in the head. He says stuff like, I'm fine. All Might became the symbol of peace with the same mindset, so he won't be the one to stop Deku. Listen, Endeavor. You can't leave those two alone with each other. Not them. Seems like Midoriya finally cut himself off from All Might, too. If we could have the same speed to be by his side. Does that thing have GPS tracking? Whoa! Looks like they're grabbing the tracker. Mind if we borrow this, sir? Cause, well, it's only by chance I wound up in the same class as the guy, but still! I feel the same way. We've only spent a year together, but that's fine. But that's plenty. Man, this chapter, I am so glad I am reading this like the way I am. I'm loving it! Class 1A, and I feel like Torikoshi really has been building the story just to get to this one moment where it's like Deku just tries to take the whole world on his shoulders, just take on everything, and he can't, and his class are there for him, and it's such a great moment. I love it. He never opened up to us about One for All, and he expected that letter to put us at ease. That came as a shock to us. We of Class 1A intend to find him, follow him, and work alongside him. No matter how great a burden one for all may be, Midoriya is our friend, and we can't very well be expected to go smiling into the future, knowing that our friend is walking this thorny path alone. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is the best moment Ida has had in a while. Like, I think the last moment we had was when Deku was going through some stuff, and he said, hey, you can talk to me. That was nice because it was a nice callback to Deku saying that before, of course, the big, basically going back to that time before Stain when Midoriya said the same thing. But this, I feel, is much more powerful because that was a nice, that was a nice little gesture, but and it did put Midoriya's mind slightly at ease, but I don't think it did much. But this is really powerful stuff. And I like how Ida's standing out front. As a class rep should. It's too dangerous out there. Law and order is a thing of the past. Even the kids would be... You've certainly matured, Todoroki. Given that the villains now pursue him, and that he wished to leave UA, I authorized the team-up. However, he's free to return to us at any time. Huh? From the moment a student accepted into the school, they fall under our protection. Oh, this is really sweet. We get Ochako's reaction to her getting into UA. That is so cute. And her mom's taking a picture and she's crying. Oh my gosh, I just want to take this moment, wrap it in a bow and hug it. It's so cute. I love it. Okay, next chapter. I mean, not next chapter, I wish. No, we go to next page. But what about the safety of the evacuees? Among them, there's still... A proper evacuation shelter must be more than simply a plot of land. I shall have to reassure them somehow. Our security system was fortified for the school festival, though it has yet to see any use. I'm talking about the UA barrier. It will prove its worth. In any case, All Might also attended the school, so go on, do what you must to bring them back to us. Okay, end of flashback. This is great. I was worried we might get like a few chapters of flashback of what they were up to. Apparently not much. Apparently they were just, at the school for that time, which is kind of disappointing. I was hoping they were out and about doing their own things, but okay, here we go. And then we got the next panel, which is absolutely no dialogue. It's just Class 1A standing there, all together, all ready to help Midoriya. Midoriya surrounded by the people that were attacking him under that guy's spell, which of course they're now free. And we get a nice shot of the class. Okay, I need the next panel to be a massive shot of the entire class, because that looks badass and I want to zoom in on them. Fail. Okay, maybe they're saving it. Maybe there's going to be a bit of dialogue first, and then we're going to get to that, because there's still some more of the chapter. I still want to see I still want to see that big panel of Class 1A standing together, united. I still think we could get that. Come on, make it happen. Make it happen. And heck, if you want to, make Deku limp into the shot, that works too. Okay, but here we go. The next panel. Prison escapee secured. Splendid work, Bakugo. That's great, explosion murder god dynamite to you. Oh, that's Bakugo correcting her. That's great, explosion murder dynamite to you. Pardon me. Our buddies are free. Ah, heroes. Everyone. But why? We're worried about you. But I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm fine. Don't worry. Get away from me. Wow, real inspiring. All hail the mighty inheritor of All for One. But tell us this. Are you smiling now? Those smiles, everyone's peace of mind. Those are the reasons I need to keep going. So, get out of my way! Do your worst, you All Might wannabe! We knew Midoriya would be the same as ever. Stand strong, everyone. Yeah. Oh my gosh! This is... Guys, I don't want to make a promise I can't keep, but I think I might have to do a reaction for the next chapter too. Because next chapter, we have basically Monster Deku versus the entirety of Class 1A. Ooh, this just gives me shivers. This is great stuff. Holy crap. This is an incredibly powerful chapter. Okay, I'm going to do one thing that I've been forgetting to do that I really wanted to do. Okay, but before we get to that, let's finish putting this together for Bakugo. The scarves are always tricky. There we go. He's motor face now. Here we go. He's motor face. He looks great. All right. The swords don't work for Bakugo. Hands. What's this? More hands. Okay, what's this? Oh yeah. What, a tail? Oh my gosh, we can give him a tail. Wait, what? I can just use it without paying? Why, thank you. Bakugo, I'll be on your back. I want you to go out and find Deku. Get the fuck off my back, you little rat! That's great. I love that I unlocked that. That's fantastic. Okay, what else we got? Boom. We got hands, and more hands. Can I unlock anything? We got hands on top of hands. Jeez. Is there anything I can unlock? I don't think there is. Other than hands. Wow, too many hands. You know what? Let's just not do that. That looks stupid. Damn straight, you better keep your hands off me, nerd. Oh, you're mean, Bakugo. Shut up, nerd. 5,000. Jeez, hell no. Oh, I just unlocked this. Oh, we go with that. Oh, no. That's badass right there. That's very badass looking. Love it. Yeah, okay, Bakugo's ready. Let's go into a battle. He looks great. He looks so great. I'm so glad to have Bakugo back. You dress me like a fool! I'm gonna fucking kick your ass! Let's save it. Alright. Alright, let's save this. Wait, we did Bakugo? Or maybe I was just playing around, because that looks very half-assed. Let's save this. So here we go. Now Bakugo is ready for action. Okay, gonna be doing this a little bit differently. Normally I'm like random. I just do the custom character and then random. I am going to, costume presets. Going with this. And then we'll be teaming up Deku. We'll be teaming up him with Ochako. And we'll also throw in Ida. Okay, now for my opponent, gotta be Deku. Okay, and then... Actually, no, we'll save that matchup for the next chapter, because that's when the big thing is going down. How about we just go with, oh, yeah. I'm gonna take down All For One, baby. And then we'll throw in Muscular. And, too bad I don't have Chisaki. I really need to buy that new game. There we go. Alright. Okay, let's talk about this chapter, baby. Oh, man. I am starving. I'm gonna get something to eat after this one. But, yeah, let's talk about 319. Damn, I've been waiting for this one for a long time. Jeez. Get back here, nerd! But yeah, this chapter, I believe, all My Hero Academia fans have been waiting for so long. It was great to see Deku and how powerful he has become, and he's just, out there doing his thing against solo villains. But this is the moment we've all been waiting for months. We've all been like, we need to see the reunion between Deku and his class, and they need to have a big impact. And what better impact do you have than impacting your fist against Deku's face? Master, I've come to help you. Thank you, Shigaraki, but it's unnecessary. I got this little dweeb. Yeah! Let's see how that goes. I'm gonna burn you to a crisp! It was nice to see Bakugo really take charge in this. Oh, I'm sorry, I love that hat of Bakugo. It was nice to see Bakugo really take charge in this chapter and be like, okay, listen, you guys now know that Deku has all for one for all, and you gotta know what that's all about, but I've known that for months. And I've known Deku since he was a little kid. I knew All Might pretty well. I know these characters I know them much better than you know them, okay? And if there's one thing I know is that them teaming up is like the worst idea imaginable. Deku's gonna get himself killed. We need to just not be doing this right now. So yeah, oh, and I also didn't even notice that, and I guess I did, but I didn't really think about it, that Bakugo's tearing up Deku's note in the beginning, like, oh, fuck this! I was slightly disappointed, thinking that... Like, I expected them to be going out and about, honestly. Like, Ooh, take that. Plus Ultra, bitch. I was really expecting them to be out and about, helping out, because, I guess those other students we saw at the beginning are second year, but I'm serious, I really thought that they made it to their second year. I knew that their first year ended, but I thought they had at least been in their second year for like a month at least. But no, they're like, we're first years. I'm like, okay. Maybe I read that wrong, but I think that's the way it is. The first page I saw when I realized we were going to be doing a flashback was exactly, it wasn't what I was expecting, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, how could it be anything but a flashback? But you absolutely have to establish what these characters have been doing before you go into how they ended up here to help Deku. There were a few things I was expecting, like and I kind of I was expecting them to have new costumes, which I guess may have been hoping for too much. But it's been, I mean, even a few minor changes would have been appreciated if they had like some new accessories or just a little bit of change. It's, you know, a couple months have passed. Maybe they got a little help. All Might versus Gran Torino. That's an interesting choice. So yeah, they hadn't been doing much of anything, which is a bit disappointed, but I mean, it doesn't really hurt the story at all. It's just, I was expecting them to be out there doing their own things, but oh well. So it's really all about them putting the clues together and being like, yo, best Genist, Endeavor, we're trying to talk to them, they're not telling us anything. Bakugo basically figuring out the whole thing and being like, yeah, this will not stand. Oh, like Bakugo would ever say that. I need to translate it into Bakugo. In Bakugo, this will not stand translates into, this is bullshit. And basically like, they sure waited a long time, but then again, I guess they had been trying to get in contact with them for a while now, and they're like, okay, let's go to the principal. And the principal, man, you gotta hand it to him. He really was like, okay, yeah, they bring up an interesting point. Endeavor, get your burning ass over here. I'm sorry, teacher, but I must fight you. That's man, I'm really coming up with the perfect lines that these characters would never say. You'd probably say, "Sir, I'm afraid I have to fight you now," or something like that. Jeez, I feel really strong as All Might. But yeah, basically calling Endeavor in and talking to him, and the students being like, "Yeah, where's Deku? You need to tell us now." And they're like, "What are you doing? You should be with him." And I think Endeavor basically admitted that he just can't keep up with Deku, or something like that. Hold on, I need to read that line again. Okay, so basically Endeavor, or one of the other heroes basically said, if only we had the speed to stay by their side. Which I have to say that's a pretty weak excuse, considering All Might was doing a damn good job sticking close to Midoriya for the longest time. Just in a car. Just with a car, guys. Just get in a car. But, I don't know, maybe Midoriya was kind of letting him stay by his side and not going at his fastest speed. That may have been why he abandoned him in the first place. But I'm looking forward to All Might's reunion with Midoriya later on. What I think is going to happen is Class 1A is going to beat Deku, because Deku's basically nerfed at this point. He's been in way too many battles. He's lost a lot of energy. They're just going to be able to go in and get basically knock him out, and then he can finally get some rest. But yeah, I really can't wait for Deku to have a nice heart-to-heart with Ochako. Been waiting for that moment. Lots of people... Ochako doesn't get respect. Well, I wouldn't say she doesn't get respect from the fans. It's mostly just they'd argue, oh, she's not developing properly, or story is not moving in the proper way. And I was like, I kind of agree, but I still love her. She's still one of my favorite characters. And it's not just because she's a cute girl. It's totally because she's just a cute girl. But yeah, I really can't wait for her to really get in a room with Deku, not like that, and just talk to him, talk it out, because I think that's going to be a nice moment for her. Speaking of Ochako, it was really nice to see how we got to see the moment of her getting accepted in the school. Very cute, very cute moment. Ida having his big speech moment. I think I'm done playing this game, guys. I think I'm just gonna maybe go into a little menu. We need to wrap this up. Anyway, this has been going on for like an hour and 15 minutes. My gosh. Oh, I unlocked some stuff. That's cool. But yeah, go into the gallery. But it was nice that Class 1A was able to convince the adults, like, listen, we know Deku pretty well. You're not getting the job done. Let us go in. And they're there. And did I ever get my big shot? I don't think I got my big shot of the class standing triumphantly together. I mean, come on. I wish that I got that. Look at that. On page 15, you see the whole class standing together. But it's from a distance, so you can't really take it in. I really wanted a close up. But I'm not going to get that, which sucks. But, yeah, well, you can't get everything you want. And it looks like I might get my wish of Ochaku slapping Midoriya, because they're about to have a big fight against him in the next chapter. So, hey, maybe she'll get that slap in. In fact, that's what I'm hoping. Like, maybe he gets beat down. He's like, no, I won't let you take me away. I gotta do this on my own. And he's like, ah! And like, maybe he's about to try to escape or try to lash out. And Ochaku just slaps him in the face. That's for leaving me, Deku. It's like, bam, right in the face. But I don't know. Did I cover this chapter well enough? I think I did. I feel like I've been talking about My Hero Academia for so long, guys. Had to really catch up, but it felt good. It really felt good. There's no One Piece this week, which means I'm not overwhelmed by trying to do 2 videos like this. My gosh, no way in hell. But this was. I think this is one of the best chapters in all of My Hero Academia. It really is. It really shows a lot of the best qualities of all the characters. A lot of really strong. Sue, did Sue get her moment? I don't know if Sue got to talk, but there are a lot of characters in this class, so I understand if not every character gets a line in one chapter. But I really could have used, because I really feel like Sue is. You could argue Ochaku or Midoriya as well, but I do feel like Sue, in a lot of ways, is the heart of the class. And it was really the moment when, after. Okay, this is the last tangent, I promise. But it was after the fight with All For One, where the moment where Sue's crying and she's like, I really should have spoken up. I should have done something. You guys put yourself in danger because of me. And it's a moment like that where I really feel like she's the soul of Class 1A. But it could apply to multiple characters. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap this up. So yeah. Phenomenal chapter. I really don't get why Bakugo's armor is that so damaged. It could have been training exercises or something. I really thought he was going out and about doing stuff, but apparently not. There's a great panel of Ochaku on page 6 where she's like, then let's force the issue. Like, oh, that's one of Ochaku's better panels. I like that. But yeah, this has been great. Fantastic chapter. I'm going to shut up now because I've been talking for an hour and 18 minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But there's so much to talk about. But yeah, fantastic. See you next time.